The Business Bully Podcast is being brought to you by Audible. With over 180,000 audiobooks to download, you can get everything you could ever possibly want to know about any damn thing. Check them out right now, audibletrial.com/bully. Now it's bully time, people. Let's get this show started.
He's been an award-winning media personality and producer. As a speaker, he's empowered over 1 million people from the stage. Now, one of the leading brand experts and business coaches in the U.S. is bringing his unique brand of straight talk to the world of on-demand audio. It's the Business Bully Podcast. Now, here's the business bully himself, David Anderson.
Yes. Welcome to the Business Bully Podcast. I am David Anderson. Thank you for joining me. It's been a long time. I lost my voice last week, so I couldn't do a show. That was a pain in the neck. So before I get into all that good stuff, I have to get into my sponsors. Why? Because my sponsors are into me. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about my sponsors. My sponsors are absolutely awesome. First and foremost, Berry Amazing Travel. Make sure you check them out. Berry, like a strawberry, amazingtravel.com. They allow you to do everything. I'm talking about book flights, get exotic vacations, the whole nine. BerryAmazingTravel.com. Tell them the Business Bully sent you. Also, PolishAndLather.com. Make sure you check them out for all your soaps and silky, all natural goodness needs. They got you covered, man. So make sure you check them out. Shout out all those people there. And get 15% off your order when you put in keyword bully. So I definitely appreciate that. Shout out to everybody who's checking me out right now on Facebook Live. I am simulcasting on Facebook Live and doing the show live right now. So much to get into. But before I forget, I got another sponsor. And that, of course, is Kelly's Closet. Oh, yeah. KellysCloset.net with a K for keeping those secrets. So if you know somebody who needs some really sexy plus-size lingerie, get over there right now. Also, 15% off when you use either code BusinessBully or Bully. You get both. KellysCloset.net. If you want to sponsor the show, you can always go to info@interbrand.org. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk a little bit. I want to talk to you a little bit because this right here is where it gets interesting. I want to talk about Roots, okay? I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I'm boycotting Roots because I'm not. I enjoy it. It's something that I watch with my family. Matter of fact, as soon as I'm off of this, I'm going to watch Roots. My wife may watch ahead because I'm actually taping this while Roots is coming on. But I have to say that it's been very well directed. They took some time and did some more research, which was awesome. And a lot of you who aren't necessarily checking me out on Facebook, like, you know, my audience is different sometimes. Folks come to me in different ways, and so that's cool. I'm not necessarily mad, but there was a post that I put up on all of my channels regarding the entire Roots situation. You know, and I said, you know, I've been watching Roots, and I must say it's an enjoyable work of fiction. Alex Haley stole most of the story. Google it. Not going to get into all that here. I was talking about the whole Snoop Dogg issue, and I said my issue is not quite the same as Uncle Snoop Dogg's. I think the slavery narrative is overdone. Because it's overdone. Oh, my God. Every time you turn around, we are slave. We are butler. We run into freedom. We running away from freedom. And that's not to say that there aren't other movies made, but let's face it. If we're not in a dress, if we're not buck dancing, if we're not robbing, raping, or rapping, what are we doing in these films? Not much. There's nothing that shows people in a really good light. And the one film that I can remember, Good Deeds, you know, y'all paying because y'all ain't believe for 1 second that Tyler Perry is really going to pull that off. That just wasn't going to happen. Although Daddy's Little Girls was excellent. I go on to say that I've seen Bones and Baby Boy in every movie that Snoop Dogg has been in, and quite frankly, they do as much damage to the image of the black man in America as Roots. So now let's get on the Negroes on the Coon train to think our history begins with slavery and as Rosa Parks. You're completely lost. We've invented everything from math to ice cream and have moved Europeans out of the Dark Ages. These are facts. The media is controlled primarily by the Jewish community. From Hollywood to the high-rises of these so-called urban record labels, they control the narrative, and we allow them to go unchecked. Black people in these positions of power are figureheads at best. So the reason we have butlers and slaves and precious on the silver screen is because we are consumers and not creators. Now, let me stop here for a minute. When I said that, what I mean is we don't make the films anymore. And the films we do make, we have to go get somebody else to greenlight them. Do you see how there's always somebody in our pockets? There's always something going on. It's not necessarily, a good look. If we had a voice, we'd show stories of Toussaint Louverture, but we won't. We talk about Lewis Latimer, who we don't talk about Lewis Latimer, who really invented the light bulb, because he isn't Jackie Robinson or Jesse Owens, because we got to see people running. They love to see Negroes running. We won't talk about the hundreds of inventions and innovative ways George Washington Carver, who used to be a slave, derived from the peanut, because he was a scientist and not a buck-dancing, Yowza-boss, chicken-training coon. These are facts. If you can see me right now, my shoulders are shrugging. I loathe the fact that as a child, my parents forced me to read. And when I say that, let me explain. When you're always asking questions as a kid, and somebody's like, your parents are like, oh, go look it up. Then you go look it up, and then you find out that there's something not quite right with what your teacher's telling you and what you're reading in this book. They don't jive. And so you begin to get frustrated, and then you start to look for another book, and you start reading everything, trying to get your hands on the truth. And the truth is much uglier than most people will let you know. And it gets to a point where I'm pained by listening to a lot of my peers who look like me talk, because it's like we talk about blackness like we're second best, like we're second class citizens in our own communities, and like, nah, not where I'm from. Second best to a group of people who are only good at disenfranchisement of innocent people? Like, no. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills when I have to endure the gaze of my own people and not tell them the truth. Like, I'm in the barbershop, like, literally breaking down this whole science situation and roots and a whole bunch of other things, and they're looking at me like I'm nuts. And then I hear this one, well, Dave, you should lighten up, because at least there's black people making money. And I said, well, black people making money dealing drugs to pregnant women, but I don't see you applauding that. There's a reason why I write books, and I'm currently working on a documentary. I'm not just another complaining Negro. I see a lot of complaining Negroes out here, but none of them are really doing anything, putting their money where their mouth is. I'm proud of who I am. I come from blue-collar people. My mother is a retired teacher. My father was in law enforcement. I'm descended from greatness. I'm white supremacy's worst nightmare. I'm a black man with a clue and a mission. And that's the thing, man. We got to be clear as to what we're doing out here, black people. And I'm begging y'all not to marginalize yourselves. Slavery is a part of our past. We should not deny it. We should be proud that we survived it. But at the end of the day, that is not where the situation stops. And so when I hear people talk about, well, there's roots, and roots is important, and we have to look at that. Okay, cool. Even Louis Gossett Jr. said we need to do other things. And he played fiddler in the original Roots. You know what I'm saying? LeVar Burton went on to do Reading Rainbow. You want to know why? Because he needed to make sure that black kids were reading. There are other things to do other than just Roots. We get it. But come on, man. I don't see anybody making any stories about abolitionists. Black abolitionists. I've yet to see the Frederick Douglass movie. Where the Frederick Douglass movie at? I ain't seen it. I mean, one in my lifetime that anybody's seen, with some major cast members in here. And then, if you look at Roots, right? If you look during the commercial, what's crazy to me is that they had this movie about Matthew McConaughey, and I think he's some kind of abolitionist, or he's fighting on the side of the Union. It's a Civil War movie, which is basically just a slave movie. You know what that is. But you give that one brother a hard time who was in The Great Debaters, who's going to play Nat Turner. Because if y'all know about Nat Turner, you need to Google him. He just snapped one day and said, you know what, I'm killing a whole bunch of masses. And that's what he did. That's the real Django. So we have situations out here where we don't really support each other. We don't think about what it is that we're doing. We don't look at the long-term effects of how things go. And I'm not going to let anybody control my narrative. I remember one time folks wanted to talk about things that were in my past, and I beat them to it. And I learned that from watching 8 Mile. Real rap, because there's a scene in 8 Mile where he's talking about everything that everybody did to him. And he's like, okay, well, now that I've told you, what else you tell these people something they don't know about me? We live in a day and age where technology is what it is. And my point to my critics was, listen, I'm going to control my narrative. Yes, I did some things that I'm not necessarily proud of, but I've moved on from that. You're not going to hang that over my head. What are you afraid of? And it's that fear that holds you back, not only from the way that you operate on your job, but it's the way you operate in your business. Your business is janky because you're not necessarily stepping up to the level that you should because you're concerned about what other people think or what other people are going to do and how that's going to affect you. Shout out to everybody who is watching the live broadcast. If you have questions, you can feel free to ask them. I will be answering them as the broadcast goes on, man. But there's so many interesting things out here that I'm trying to see. What else is going on? Like, is there anything else happening? Oh, let's talk about the gorilla. We got to talk about the gorilla, because if we don't talk about the gorilla, that silverback gorilla, folks are upset because the gorilla was shot in the enclosure at the Cincinnati Zoo, and then of course these stories come out about the father, and he's got a criminal record, but they leave out the part where the brother turned his life around. They talk about how the mom runs a daycare. Look, man, let me tell you something. Kids are fast. My 1-year-old, she's like 14 months. She's running now. Like, she's literally running, and it's the hardest thing in the world for me to keep up with her. But be that as it may, I got an issue with people who are talking about this family, but there's so many people to blame. Okay, the gorilla lost its life for being a gorilla. Your kid should not be able to get into a gorilla enclosure, for one. Not only because the zoo should have a gorilla enclosure that they can't get into, but also because, well, let's just face it here, you should keep an eye on your damn kid, especially in a jungle, because that's what a zoo is. A zoo is a jungle with cages. That's all it is. And you hope that the zookeepers know what they're doing. Just like Siegfried and Roy were supposed to know what they're doing with that tiger, and that tiger went tiger. Tiger ain't go crazy, as Chris Rock famously said. So when the gorilla goes all silverback gorilla on the kid, it went all silverback gorilla because it's a flippin' silverback gorilla. Like, this is not a mystery here. I don't need the Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine team to, get this figured out, man. I really don't, but I'm sick of people acting like this is some kind of horrible thing. And no, I think that it's a shame, and I think it's a sin. I think it's a horrible situation, but I thank God that little boy wasn't hurt. That's what I'm happy about. I thank God that, things actually were happening, and that, things were going on that could have, went into play that saved that baby's life, and that to me is more important than anything, so I'm not mad, so we'll see what else is happening out here, folks be tripping, man, so it's it's crazy how things just happen, man, and I'm not really here for a whole lot of nonsense. I wish we could get a little bit more clear on, what we're doing and how we talk to each other. One thing that really burns me up is that people don't take the time to really understand things. But I'll give you an example. Today I get an inbox on my Facebook, right? Person says, "Hey, Mr. Anderson, you got a minute? I saw you doing a lot of Ask Me Anything videos." And I said, "Yeah." Person says to me, "Well, me and my family have this great idea. I would love to share it with you." And I'm like, "Okay, what's your idea?" And the idea was that she was going to send me this video. And this video, was for a multi-level marketing type of situation. And I was like, no, I'm not into that. And if you tell me you got an idea, that's an idea. That's not an idea. That's you trying to pitch me something. And it's a weak pitch. Like, some of y'all are so weak with pitches, it ain't even funny. Yeah, buddy. Ooh. So, this person got upset. because I told the truth, and I said, listen, I can help you, if you're trying to, do your MLM thing. Like, I'm really good at helping people figure out strategies for them. And she was like, well, why would I take a strategy from somebody who doesn't do them? I didn't say I've never done them. I'm just saying I don't do them now. There are levels in business, and you have to understand everybody's not staying at level 1 on Super Mario Brothers. In this business game, I've moved up a couple of notches where I have my own businesses to run. I invest in other people's businesses. I'm working very, very hard to create a life for my family, because let's face it, man, that's what it's about. So no, I don't have time to take people to a business opportunity meeting where we're posing by the Porsche and we're sitting in the we're sitting at somebody's hotel, in a booth in the back in a corner in the dark. No, I'm not about that life. It's just not my thing. I don't need your pyrotechnics. I don't need to be your super executive national vice president of muckety muck to feel important. And there's like 18,000 super vice presidents of muckety muck, in this organization. So that title means absolutely nothing. I'd rather have one title, and that title is called owner. And I think that that's where we really get the game messed up. So I want folks to really take stock in what it is that they do and how they go about it. But please get out my damn inbox with your damn Girl Scout cookie method of trying to throw things at me. This old, I just got to get some numbers up. And I've told this to you MLM people before. Like, the object of network marketing is to make sure that you build a team so that that team can go out and actually sell the products that this organization is based on. If you look at Amway or Avon or things like that, that's what it should be about. But a lot of these organizations, it's about, I got to get 3,000 people on my downline, and that's when I can just sit at home and kick up and scratch my nuts and watch PlayStation and play Xbox and get on Sports Center and watch all that kind of good stuff. Like, are you crazy? No. That's not how it should go. You would want to build a team. You want to be able to have an infrastructure that makes sense. But y'all don't do that, man. Y'all looking for a quick buck. I've never seen so many entitled people look for a quick buck so easily in my entire life. And it literally pisses me the hell off. Y'all got to do a whole lot better. Again, shout out to everybody in my Facebook Live, man. If you got some questions, you can go ahead and put them in there. And if you are looking to check out my Facebook Live and you haven't, you can just put in @TheBusinessBully, like you would on Twitter, @TheBusinessBully, and my Facebook page will come up for you. Shout out to my man James Griffin. I see he popped in there. You know what I'm saying? Big announcement. David Banner is going to be on my show next week, so I want y'all to stay tuned for that. That's going to be nuts. Still waiting on Neo. Don't know when we're going to get Neo rebooked. But, I'm definitely excited about that, and I'm excited about everything that's been happening. So if you ever want to know what's up with me, you can always get at me. I'm pretty easy to find. What other things do we need to address out here right now that are important and have been taking place out here? Let's see. That looks stupid. Not talking about that. No, this is all nut stuff. Let's see. Let's go here. Just checking a couple of other things that I should have checked beforehand, but I didn't have the time that I just wanted to go over. So the St. Louis Blues have asked the Canadian hockey fans to adopt them as their playoff team. That way they have somebody looking at them. Not a bad look. Not mad at that at all. I am not trying to be funny, but can we just talk about Justin Bieber's dad for a minute? I just want to address this because this is ridiculous. Justin Bieber's dad bought an abused tiger to his engagement party. What is with y'all and animals this week? Like, just people in general, like, what is going on with y'all? Y'all gonna piss off PETA, then they're gonna start throwing buckets of red paint on y'all. It's gonna be crazy. So I just don't understand, like, why y'all need tigers and wild animals. Like, y'all ain't gonna be satisfied till somebody else gets their face mauled off. Y'all figured Roy survived, but Roy looks jacked up. Have you seen Roy from Siegfried and Roy since he got his face jacked up? It's nuts. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. let's see here. What was I going to tell you that, because it's something I'm forgetting and I know it was important. I don't know why I can't think of it right now, but it is driving me up a wall. Oh, you know, these Iranian women are going off right now. If you haven't heard, they're starting to show off their hair. And if you know anything about Iranian women, that's a big deal. So, you know, like, folks are making statements out here. So the question then becomes, how can I make a statement, you know, with my business? What can I do that's different? And I'm always one for shock value. I'm always one for in your face. I'm always one for seeing what people have going on, you know, and bringing it to them, bringing what I have to offer in a way that's a little bit different, a little bit risky, a little bit innovative. But you got to do more. You got to do more. That's what I wanted to talk y'all about. Oh my God, yo, I want to get your thoughts on this. You know, so I mean, email me, or if you're in the chat room right now, let me know. Like, I'm really thinking about going vegan. Like, everybody's going vegan, and the more I study, the more I keep hearing about how bad, like, meat and stuff is for you. You know, I might have to go vegetarian, or like, you know, like, for 5 years I didn't eat beef or pork. Man, that was good. I dropped a ton of weight. But, like, you know, Waka Flocka is going vegan. ASAP Rocky, you know, he said, y'all got to do research on the way they treat fucking chickens, man. The Jizza, Ghostface Killer, and Raekwon are all vegetarian. Redman and Method Man are now vegetarian. And, of course, you know, KRS-One is a vegan. Erykah Badu is a vegan. Russell Simmons has a book out called The Happy Vegan. It's just vegan all over the damn place. And so, you know, if I have any vegans in my audience, I would definitely like to know what you guys recommend, what you think is important. Killer Priest is a vegan. Dead Prez, Master Killer. Don't you tell me Lil' Kim is a vegan. No, I don't think Lil' Kim's a vegan, but she did post a picture. She said it's a cake with Missy Elliott. Said her cake was so yummy and one of them was vegan. She'd never eaten vegan before. So, yeah, Missy Elliott's vegan. And, like, if y'all ain't seen Missy lately, Missy looks good. You know, the RZA says, I'm a RZA and I'm a vegan. You know, like, folks are really going nuts, like, over this vegan type of situation. A lot of folks are doing it. You know, people talk about there's a lot of good reasons to do it. You know, I'm always looking for different things. And if you know anything about my documentary that's coming up, I'm actually going to be taking a year and trying a whole bunch of stuff. So, like, each month I'm going to be doing something different. And I want to do whatever it takes, you know, to drop about 80 pounds. You know, I'm going to get about 80 pounds off. You know, so I'm going to go vegan. And if that means I got to go get surgery, you know, then that's what I'll do. At my heaviest, I was 561. You know, but my lifestyle is one that is increasingly busy. And I need to be able to maintain that. You know, just from a business perspective. And then you factor in my kids. You know, like, I gotta make some different changes. But, like, what do you guys think about this vegan trend? Like, I'm really curious to know, you know, how you feel that's going to impact you, if at all. Like, I mean, have you ever said, well, you know, fuck it, I'm still going to eat steak, or whatever the case may be? I'm really curious to know, you know, where you are about that. So, it is, it is crazy, excuse me. I am wicked tired. Like, my days just do not end. And so, I'm really curious to see, you know, where that goes. You know, like, if this vegan thing is just a trend, if it's just a fad. But a lot of people seem to be trying to move towards that direction. Yo, so I'm extremely excited. There is a workshop. It's more like a challenge, I should say, that LaShonda Fitzgerald and I are doing. And, you know, she's amazing. when it comes to like developing businesses and developing systems. And it's called Leap 21. If you go to Facebook and you put in Leap 21, or if you go to my page on the Business Bully Facebook page, you can get a link. And I'll also put a link in the description of this podcast where you can check out Leap 21 because that is going to be absolutely awesome. And so, so I'm extremely excited about it. I'm thrilled. What I am going to do, because like I said, this is going to be a short show. I'm not doing a long, drawn-out show. I just wanted to address a couple things. I am going to go and watch Roots. I am going to answer a few questions via email, but for the most part, I'm going to chill and enjoy myself because I'm extremely tired a lot. Going through some physical therapy things, got some challenges I'm dealing with. So there's that. In the meantime, in between time, thanks for checking me out. I will definitely check you out very, very soon. And that is going to do it for me. So I will see you soon, and thanks so much for checking me out.
Follow us on Twitter at MyInnerBrand. Thanks for listening to the Business Bully Podcast. We'll talk to you next time.